We're live at the Spero Clinic in Northwest Arkansas, where we are celebrating Ruby finishing her treatment today. So in August of 2022, Ruby was diagnosed with long COVID. She suffered from severe fatigue, brain fog, nausea, POTS-like symptoms. I just wanted to thank Dr. H. She was such a huge help in Ruby's case, addressing the underlying infections. And now Ruby is ready to head home and looking forward to school full time and playing volleyball this fall.
Okay, I was diagnosed with long COVID 2 years ago. I've tried almost everything we know of, from changing my eating habits, so many medications, changing my sleeping habits, and limiting my activities. The problem with long COVID is that everything you do is an experiment, so you always have a backup plan. Before I came to Spero, I was struggling to eat due to nausea and lack of appetite. I was experiencing muscle pain and joint pain. On the bad nights, I was waking up in the middle of the night in so much pain I was unable to go back to sleep. I was having 3 to 4 headaches a week on a good week, and I was dizzy almost every time I stood up, so much so that it became a normal occurrence in everyday life. The worst symptoms were brain fog and fatigue. I struggled to do school because on the hard days, I couldn't put sentences together or really absorb any information that I needed to learn. On the worst days, I struggled to get out of bed, and on the good days, I was only able to do a half day of school. My sophomore and junior years of high school were spent dealing with and compensating for this disease. I was on 20 different medications and supplements in an attempt to control and mask the symptoms I had in order to live a normal teenage life. Moving into how I found Spero. In March of this year, I had a terrible flare with nothing visible to explain the symptoms I was having. I became very discouraged and frustrated as my senior year of high school was quickly approaching. I knew I did not want to be fighting this disease or compensating for it during this exciting time in my life. I voiced this frustration and concern to my parents, and we were able to find Spero. I have been at Spero for the last 16 weeks and no longer have muscle pain, nausea, headaches, or dizziness as often, if at all. My fatigue and brain fog has significantly improved, and I am confident that I can manage a full day of school very soon. I am no longer on any prescribed medication, and my old supplements have been replaced with new ones. My bad days are not so bad anymore and way more manageable than they were previously. Of course, as you know, the thank yous are next, and I truly mean these. I would not be standing here without the support and love of my family and those who contributed to my journey through prayer and financial support. My mother has been to every doctor's appointment with me, fought through every bad episode and bad day. She fought with me 3 times a day to eat on how much to eat and what I should eat and when I should eat it. She has spent the last 16 weeks away from home for me. So my mom, I say thank you, because I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you to my dad, who has always made sure I smiled and watched endless hours of TV with me when I couldn't get out of bed, even on my worst days. To my little brother, who's no longer little, who often took the worst of my emotions and often got the short end of the stick when it came to how much energy I had. Thank you for loving me endlessly and unconditionally through the last 2 years of my life. To my aunts and uncles who have invested in me and interest in how I'm feeling, doing, and what the doctor's new plan is for me, for always fighting for me and for always making me feel so incredibly special. To my grandparents who endlessly prayed for me, fought for me, and the ones in heaven who I know were watching over me. To my little cousin and her ability to make me smile even on the darkest days seem bright. The ability to put a smile on my face meant more to me than you will ever know. I would not be where I am without the love of these people. I always knew I could fall back on you when I couldn't keep going myself, and I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you to my friends who always made sure I was included, for sending me notes and teaching me concepts when I had been out for weeks on end, for always texting me to see how I was doing, and for always praying for me to get better. Thank you to the Spero team, Chelsea, Dr. B, Jacob, Katie, Grace, Sierra, Tyler, Shane, Sean, Mabelli, Eric, Paxton, Jen, Amanda, and Colleen, for doing everything that you possibly could to get me to where I am now. The constant kindness you showed me during the last 16 weeks will always mean the most to me. Dr. B, you always listened to everything I had to say and had a plan to how to treat it. and I still don't know how you remembered every detail that I told you, because even I struggled. I assume that part of the answer might have been Paxton keeping you on track. Thank you for Chelsea, for always pushing me, for always believing that I could get stronger, and for always rounding me up. I will truly miss our updates, and I'm pretty sure that I will hear shoulders back and toes in for the rest of my life. Thank you to Jacob. You have caused me the most pain of anyone here. But for some reason, you have caused me the most joy. Coming to Piezo was something, for some weird reason, I looked forward to, because I knew you were going to talk about music, and your gift to make me laugh is something incredible. Don't worry, Katie. We both know the real reason I enjoyed Piezo was because of you. Thank you, Shane, for giving me my first drop in fatigue, and for continuing to work to make sure that all of my symptoms were resolved. Thank you to Spero Clinic. This is truly one-of-a-kind place where you can tell your therapist that something feels uncomfortable or is painful, and they will look at you and say, "Good, that's what I want." Where the patients have the ability to make sarcastic comments and laugh even on their worst days. This is a place where we all know the true meaning of "I'm fine" or "it's fine." This is also the place where many people, including myself, have been given hope to live an uncompromising life again. And at a place where everyone you're around is truly cheering you on and wanting you to get better, sometimes more than you do yourself. Because of this place, I am able to live a mostly normal teenage life again, enjoy my senior year with little implication of this disease, and I will be forever grateful.
I was like, "Can we do this?" And she's like, "I don't know, but I'll try." That's just her resilience that she has. She's been strong the whole entire time. You've done everything I've told you to do. Today we actually did some ladders. We ran up the stairs quite a few times. You killed me in line drills. And just for preference, like, she could, if I was putting her into any kind of movement, she would fatigue within 3-4 minutes, if that. And now we're running, jogging, sprinting, killing me. But I'm just very proud of you. You worked so hard. So go kill it in volleyball.